All right. For the last 2, 3 days, I've been getting this article on my news feed. You can just Google search Iraq to allow marriage for girls as young as 9. And if you go to the news, you'll see literally every media house is talking about it. Iraq, not Iran. So CNN reported this, then Newsweek, NBC gave a very graphic story, which I will be sharing with you. So what I did is, if you're listening to my YouTube channel, you would want it to be simplified. So what I did is, it was a tough read because they give a lot of details, a lot of lawmakers. It's important for me to see the chronological sequence. So I've dumbed it down. I've completely dumbed it down and made it very easy for anyone to understand. Okay. Feel free, give me your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, this is a mixture of Islam, Muslim beliefs, and people living in Iraq. Okay. So let's call a spade a spade. Let's not act like, no, this doesn't happen. And so I'll give you all the bits and pieces I've researched. And if you feel I'm wrong, many of you, especially who are Muslims, who follow Islam, say, no, you don't know what the hell you're talking. Please feel free to comment down below and tell me where exactly am I wrong. Okay. So to explain to a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old, this is what I've jotted down. See, there was an old law in Iraq. Okay, 1959, Iraq created a law to protect women and families. It said that a girl child, has to be at least 18 to get married. And there were exceptions if they wanted to marry, anyone wanted to marry a girl slightly younger. But this had to go through the law. Okay. And what they had done was they had given the families the rights and the power. You decide. Okay. But now, just imagine, this was 1959. Today, after all these years, 60, 70, 80, 90, 2000, 10, 20, after nearly 60 years, instead of moving forward and empowering women, they are actually going backward 100 years. So what is changing? These new religious leaders, okay, who follow Islam, who are the so-called the torchbearers, the experts of Islam and law, what they're saying is they want not the family. You can't decide. We will decide for you. We are the religious leaders. We should be given the authority to discuss matters of marriage and divorce. We will be the authority, not you. Okay, because we know more about religion, we know more about Islam, we know more about Allah or Prophet Muhammad. And this is the problem. This is not me hating on Muslims and Islam, but I can challenge you this, given that I have a YouTube channel, I know it much more. Every single individual who is Muslim and who does not like my point of view, 99 out of 100 times, that means almost every time, they will always say, what the hell do you know about Islam? Have you read the Quran? Have you really understood Allah? Have you really understood Prophet Muhammad? And the way they say it is as if they are the experts. They are the chosen authority. So I always ask them, fine, you're right. I do not know Islam as much as you. I have not read the Quran at all. Okay. Just because I read a few lines doesn't mean I'm an expert in Quran or Islam. But I can Google search. I can check. And the problem is when I tell them I can Google search and check, no, that is all Jewish media, or that is written by kafirs, all that. You have to read Islam to understand. So then when I ask them, okay, Baba, so where do I read? And they will cherry pick their own website, which they like. And to this date, if I've chatted with 10 people, all 10 will give 10 different websites. Okay, all 10 will give 10 different websites. And but don't get me started about the clowns, especially in India. There are some of them. India, Bangladesh, I don't know about Sri Lanka, Pakistan. They will tell me, "Have you listened to our teacher, our prophet teacher?" So I ask them, "Who's your prophet?" Dr. Zakir Naik. Boss, he is a wanted criminal. Okay, and he spews nonsense from his ass. As it is, I look like a goat. He looks like a mountain goat. And brother, if I tell you the answer, will you convert to Islam? And everything he'll twist and mangle. And Surah 6, chapter 7, verse 8, word number 4. Okay. And then everything is, oh, your Hindu gods, they were first because of Islam, because of Allah Ta'ala. The universe got created because of Allah Ta'ala and Prophet Muhammad. Blah, blah, blah. He'll go at maybe 200 or 300 words a minute. And if you question him, you should see some of those videos. They'll only show videos where he appears like a champion. He appears like invincible. But the ones where he's embarrassed or where he is cornered, they will never show those. Those you can Google search and get. I've uploaded one video where 25 mistakes of Zakir Naik in 5 minutes. In 25 minutes, you can search. And here's a funny thing. When he's exposed, when Zakir Naik is exposed, I'm giving you an example. The very same Muslims will say, so he's human. So is human. So what if he makes a few mistakes? Then you're not an authority. You're not an expert. You are expected to not make mistakes. If you're a teacher and everything that you teach is full of flaws and nonsense and you spew rubbish, what kind of a teacher? And that also religion, man. So this video is not focusing about him, but to make you understand that every Muslim person that I've chatted with, they have their own version, their own explanation. And I've never met like 10 people, Muslims, who will agree with everything. And I've also told you in my Facebook group, I got this Muslim doctor, Malayali, Keralite. Many of you say, oh, you're Malayali, you support Malayalis. Listen now, I'm telling you, Malayali, Keralite, doctor, educated overseas, Malayali guy, who was part of my Machedo group on Facebook, which is still there. I kicked him out. And the reason? When I had posted, among the many videos that I've posted, many Hindus say that we never talk about Islam, don't have the guts to. Here's me talking about Islam. When I asked him because he said that I've read the Quran, I know, ask me any questions. I said, Prophet Muhammad was in his 50s. Aisha was, 6, 9, whatever. That age range, below 10. Okay. So she got married to him and they consummated the marriage. That means, consummate means have sex. Okay. A 50-year-old with a 9-year-old or 6-year-old, whatever. Whichever version you want to follow. So when I asked him, is this right? Explicitly asked him, do you endorse this? He said he is our prophet. Okay, he followed the instructions of Allah Ta'ala. You cannot question Allah. So once again I asked him, agreed. Allah said, I'm asking you, do you endorse this? Do you support this? Do you find it okay? He didn't answer. He didn't give me, he still, Allah Ta'ala said, then I said, okay, let me rephrase the question. I'm nearly in my 50s. If I convert to Islam and I want to marry a 6 or 9-year-old girl from your family, or we get a 50-year-old Muslim friend of mine from Afghanistan, or I get one guy and he's a pious man, will you be okay if a 6 or 9-year-old girl from your family is betrothed to him, given to him? He didn't answer the question. He kept going, Allah Ta'ala, the surah, the shia, the verse in the Quran, Allah. I said, boss, I'm asking for the last time. And this went on for 45 minutes, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Finally, I said, I'm asking for the last time. Just answer a simple yes or no. 50-year-old guy marries someone who is 6 or 9 in that range in your family, Muslim. Are you okay with it? Yes or no? He once again went to in the Quran, Allah Ta'ala, Prophet Muhammad. I blocked and deleted him. So, do you see the hypocrisy? He is okay if it is someone else's daughter. He's okay if it is some other man. But if it comes to his family, he's not okay with it. But he will not say that. Why? Because he wants to show he's a pious Muslim in front of all his friends, family, relatives. I have also had clients. Now, I'm not trying to paint all Muslims as bad. I've had clients who are open minded. I have my WhatsApp group, plenty of Muslims who completely do not accept many things in the Quran, in Islam, or killing, murdering, raping, whatever. Okay? Nice, educated people who have traveled around the world, who have families, who are even in their 50s and 60s. Okay? So I'm completely at peace with them. But I find it very shocking when someone takes their religion literally to the extent whereby they are ready to hurt and harm. And we have seen this in the news. Okay, so now coming back to this, these guys, they claim they know everything about their religion, they are experts. And now they are saying, your family cannot decide what you do with your daughters, small children, girls. We will decide. Which 50-year-old guy, 60-year-old guy. And we have also seen videos which have been circulating Instagram and Facebook of an Afghani guy. And I've spoken about this. I've seen real video where a reporter from, I don't know, BBC or somewhere, the small children, girls are playing. The father takes the daughter's happy, this is my father, and she gives it to him, and he pays money and goats and all that because he can't afford to feed her. And she's wailing, she's crying, she's screaming. All the boys and girls, her brother, sister, all are screaming. That is one of the reasons why I'm being honest with you. I cannot support, I cannot endorse, I do not like this religion. I do not like the practices. Really. And that also children. See, I have a 6-year-old. I can't even imagine this. So these bunch of clowns in Iraq's, political or parliamentary, who consider themselves expert in Islam and law and all that. So they're saying it should match the Islamic traditions. We are being bombarded by Western influence. So we need the Iraqi culture, the Islamic culture. And in order to get this law approved, they try to work through the loopholes by putting all these new laws, including this marriage law, into one bundle and a single vote. Okay, so it's like, for example, I'm just giving, if you had proposed only this marriage law, maybe you'd have a clear majority of people who are against it. But let's say you have a law which helps in agriculture. You have a law, less tax. You have a law, more employment. So very favorable, many things, and they'll sandwich this somewhere in between. So you just have to put one vote for all these issues. But what happened was, I could say, thank God or thank Allah that there was some common sense, because it became chaotic. Many, it says here, some protested, some didn't vote, and arguments broke out, and then, fist fights and they jumping and all that. So activists, thank goodness for this. There are people with common sense and decency who say that young girls can be hurt and destroyed. You're taking away education and putting them at risk. And this is the same thing that is happening in Afghanistan. Okay. Critics claim that when you sandwich together all these laws with just one vote, it's unfair and it's not right. So now, what does it mean? Supporters say that, supporters of this law say, no, we have to move towards Islam, towards an Islamic way of life, and towards protecting the Islamic or Iraqi identity. Women's groups are saying that, no, this is harmful, this is unacceptable. And there has been a massive debate across the country. Okay. So, this is part one. I want you to tell me, what do you think about this law? Okay. And especially if you are Muslim, especially if you follow Islam, especially if you like you claim you read the Quran, do you understand Prophet Muhammad? Do you understand Quran? Do you understand Islam? Give me the answer to this. Because here, remember, these are Muslims. They are Muslims like you, Muslim, Christian, Hindu. So they are Muslims like you. And they are saying, we follow Islam. We understand Islam. We follow the teachings of Allah. So, and this is what Allah wants. And their trump card is, if Prophet Muhammad, 50 plus, can marry and have sex with baby Aisha, married at 6 or married at 9, and these shameless individuals even tell me, oh, her period came after 9, then it's okay. I don't know what kind of animal you are. And these are educated men, not women, thankfully, men who are telling me, boss, if a 6 or 9-year-old girl gets a period, she's a woman. Boss, when someone tells me that, I said, boss, you have a very pedophile kind of a mind and a very pedophile kind of a lifestyle. Please don't come to my channel. Please don't interact with me. And you'll not believe, there are doctors, engineers, educated people who have studied abroad, even they endorse it. So I tell them, just stay far away from me. Okay. So give me your thoughts on this issue. And yeah, it's unbelievable. Instead of going forward, they're going 100, 200 years backward. And they're very proud about it. Anyway, just Google search. You'll find all these news articles. And what do you feel? Comment down below. And I'm very sure a lot of keyboard warriors with fake names, English names, Hindu names, and they'll be endorsing this because they can't put their real name. Because in the real society, they'll never be accepted. So maybe Mark Maximilian or Robert, Robert D'Souza or The Matrix, whatever they will say, and they will endorse Islam and all that. Anyway, let's see what happens down below. And I would like to know your thoughts. And one final thing. To those Muslims who keep telling me I'm Islamophobic or Muslimphobic or whatever. Why don't you talk about Hindus? Why don't you talk Christians? Just Google search Machedo Hindus, Machedo Christians. All the bad ideas in any religion, I've spoken about it. Love to hear your thoughts. Good, bad, ugly, feel free. Comment down below. This is me signing off.